Welcome to Constructive Conversations, the podcast dedicated to raising the standard of excellence in light construction. I'm your host, Colton Lingle. Each episode will explore the people, products, and processes that are shaping the future of this industry. From practical insights to proven best practices, you'll discover how to build better businesses, relationships, and buildings. This is where excellence isn't just expected, it's the baseline. Get ready, because today's constructive conversation starts now. Welcome back to Constructive Conversations. I'm Colton Lingle. I am joined by Philip Seest, or Phil, as I normally call him. And Phil, here at Mount Dexon Exteriors, is currently one of our crew leads, but he has the distinction of soon to be our first project manager, other than myself, to start here. So Phil has already been heading that direction for a while, and this is just finishing that. So soon, for those of our clients that are watching this, you're going to get to see his face instead of mine on the job site, and I'm looking forward to that. You guys should be looking forward to that too. So I thought I'd bring him on and introduce him and let him tell us a little bit about himself. So where are you from? What's your favorite ice cream flavor? And which team are you least likely to root for in the NFL?
Oh, man. Hi, I'm Philip Seest. I'm from, Illinois. I've lived multiple places there, but the last place I lived was in Danville, Illinois. And favorite ice cream? Oh, right now, probably two-step cookie, or the cookie two-step. Blue Bell is really, really good. Really good. Recommend it for anybody looking for a good flavor. And then I would say the team I'm least likely to root for. Man, it's I'm not a big Bears fan.
Okay, I can agree with that one. I'm a Packers fan. He's a Vikings fan.
Yeah.
So, yeah. NFC North, let's take the Bears down.
Yeah.
So, a little bit about Philip that you guys just learned. There is a lot more to him than just an ice cream flavor and not liking the Bears. But we'll let you guys dig into that in the future as you get to interact with him. Maybe he'll be back on the podcast or whatever. Or maybe you get to see him in person. Feel free to ask him about his current ice cream flavor. So, Phil has been with us for 2.5 years now. And thus I know from talking to him that he is got a great understanding of my expectations, our expectations as a company when it comes to our client interactions, and all of that goes into that. So he's one of the, obviously, if he's a crew lead, he's point man on the ground, there all the time on the project. Pretty often he's the guy that our clients have interacted with. And I know they've really enjoyed him because I've heard that from our clients when they've talked to me about him. They've been really impressed. So I know that he's a great one to talk about just how he has handled client interactions in the past and how he tries to serve our clients better and some of the things that he thinks about, because he comes at this from a completely different perspective than I am. And I appreciate that. And it's helpful for me to talk to him about it, but I think it'll be helpful for you guys to hear. So first question.
Okay.
When you think about what makes a construction project successful, our successful projects, not all of our projects are successful, obviously, but the successful ones, what makes that successful and why?
I would probably say how our guys respond to the client. I think part of it, if they have a good attitude, is one of the key things that the guys, if they're excited about the job, or even ways that the client interaction is good. I think those are things that the guys will look for. And actually, if they're excited to be there, the client is excited for them, and it's
Yeah.
really, to be honest, like it's a mutual enjoyment.
Hmm.
I think there's when the client asks good questions, then the guys, it challenges the guys, it challenges me when they come with good questions, but also I think it also, if we can answer those questions really well, they also understand that we're coming from a sensible and an understanding way to help them solve their problem, because that's really what construction is. It's problem solving, to put it plainly. Um, but interacting, kind of giving them at ease, making the client be at ease about what being at ease about what we're talking about. Having a knowledge makes it much easier for the client to enjoy the the project.
So that's a great, making the client at ease. I like that. What are some of the ways that you found to be successful in helping make the client feel at ease on the project and with you guys?
I think communication,
Okay.
making sure, like, when you get to the job site for the first time, definitely, if you have the opportunity, talk to the client. It's because many times I'm not the one that actually is there, usually making the sales or anything like that. So getting there, talking to the client, asking, okay, where's the work need to be done? What are your expectations? Finding those things, and even, building a little bit of a connection, asking things about them. If you ask about them, like about their life a little bit, they'll probably open up a little bit, and that you start building that relationship that's going to probably even go beyond just that project.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there certain relationships you'd say that you've developed that maybe it's a repeat client? Can you think of any relationship that you been able to develop, and it's gone just past that initial project that we did for him?
Yeah, there's a couple jobs that I come to mind. I don't know if I want to say the name of the client itself.
You can use first names, I think.
Um, yeah, I'm not going to worry about that today.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
But doing doing the job, getting it done in a timely manner, and doing the job and making sure it looks professional.
Mhm.
And even pointing out, if you have a knowledge of pointing out things that were done wrong initially, that shows that you're competent enough on the job to be able to make that person even be what we were talking about, be at ease about what's being done.
Sure.
Um, and that that process of getting it done quickly, making it look sharp, making it look be well built, all those things came together in that project, and we ended up coming back for another thing. And I mean, it was a different item, but
Sure.
it was a second option, and they always commended us on our work.
I would push back. I'm going to caveat what you just said. The one time that you have to be really careful when coming in and pointing out somebody else's work is, we always try, and at least I always I encourage the guys, be very careful how you address when you say, oh, this is bad, they did this horrible. We always want to be respectful for this other contractor. We don't know the circumstances it's built in. We don't know but we are going to call out bad things. I've seen you call out bad things. You do it tastefully. I'm not saying you do that, but we always try to be careful. Like, you also have to be careful because sometimes the homeowner themselves DIY'd it
And
20 years ago.
And that's what the case with that one. You could tell it was DIY.
And you're like, you got to be careful because you don't want to insult the previous guy's work, because you might be insulting the homeowner that's standing right in front of you. So you want to be careful there. But yeah, just being knowledgeable and saying, hey, this is what the issue is, and then this is how we're going to fix that to make it right, because maybe the code book has changed, or maybe it just wasn't a good idea to do it the way it was done in the first place. Can you think of any examples where you've gone the extra mile on a project and that has paid dividends in the relationship building process with the client?
Yeah, I think one of the first projects that we were involved with, we uh we were the job was basically done, but the individual made it, like, they were fine, they were going to get everything back on the deck, and we noticed that the guy was struggling to get his grill back on the deck.
I remember
And
this one.
I saw it. I just went over there and helped him get it back on the deck, but just helping him with that very heavy grill.
It was one of the
And
big green egg. It was one of those big
yeah, big
ceramic
green egg.
grills that are super heavy.
And he was struggling. He had said, he was fine, but when I saw him struggling, I went over there and helped, and just showing that we care beyond just a project, I
Yeah,
think it meant a lot to them.
yeah, we've made it a point to. It's not just about checking a box. We're trying to build a relationship. Consequently, with that client, we'll continue to not name names, but we've done a lot of other projects for them, and I love. He's one of our favorite clients. In fact, when we create an avatar of what we like in our clients, um, our avatar has this client's name because we like him so much. He's an awesome client. Um, Another time that I'm thinking of that was super helpful, that you guys went above and beyond. Um, the homeowner had gotten a new couch delivered. You
Hmm.
remember this one?
Uh,
And I pulled up to the job site, and you and Micah are helping carry this couch and assemble this couch inside the house. I was like, okay, and she was thrilled. I think she might have tipped you guys.
I don't remember, but
Which
yeah.
more power to her. You guys did a great job. Um, and but it was one of those times where it was just like, oh, where are the guys? And then they're inside setting up a couch. And from my perspective, okay, does it take a little bit extra time out of our day to do that? Sure, but does it help make life easier? This client didn't have anybody else to help her around, so it was super helpful for her to have somebody to step up and do that. And it's always encourage the guys to take those opportunities to do little stuff like that. Obviously, if a client's like, hey, can you take 3 days out of your schedule to go go do this, that, or the other, then it's probably a different conversation. But um in that case, it's like no brainer.
Yeah.
So we can continue. um you think of any other times that you've been able to just go the extra mile and it's made a difference for the client in any special ways?
Um, just I mean, there's usually what I always try to do is if the client asks for something simple, try to do it. I mean, whether it's moving something around in their house, it's not necessarily on the exterior or something like that. Or if they're asking for like, can you paint this little thing that we're already painting the job, but like, can you paint this extra, spot
Mhm.
that wasn't initially put on? I mean, that's going to take us maybe 30 minutes. I remember one job. We were doing some work on the house, and she asked if I could do some gutter work, pull some stuff out of her gutter, and it took me maybe 10 minutes,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
was just, it wasn't gonna take a lot of time from me, but it helped build that trust and that relationship. So
Sure.
just doing, I mean, if it's small and it's not going to take your guys much time, go ahead and do it, because it's gonna affect how the person views your business,
Yeah.
and whether you're just about the project or you about the person.
Yeah, that's a great point. Just um how does taking care of the client and that client relationship, how does that work and mesh with um craftsmanship and creating a really nice product?
Um, Obviously we have different clients that are a little more picky than others. But
Mm-hmm.
if we always try to lean into a quality over quantity, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
having like we want to make sure that we're getting stuff done in a timely manner, but coming into it wanting to do a professional job from the get-go, whether that's tearing stuff off,
Mm-hmm.
or organizing that stuff, because many times people just throw it, and if it's not in a well placed area, it can make a huge mess for the client.
Sure.
Um, Making sure you pick up the nails, use a magnet to pick up the nails. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's a one that so many people, I have clients who I've never seen somebody do that on a job site. Like,
Which is sad, by the way.
it's just sad.
Use a magnet, pick up your nails.
And but yeah, because if they get a flat tire, they're going to be griping to you, and you might have to pay another expense. And so you want to show that you care about the person, in that. But well, I mean,
Craftsmanship. It's working the
yeah.
craftsmanship to that.
Going back to the craftsmanship, I mean, making sure the client is pleased, not just walking away from the project when it's you know when it's not truly done. So many times, like, you might think it's done, but the client's not really pleased. Are you really done? Make sure that the client's pleased with the work before you just walk off the job site.
Sure.
And making sure, I mean, just the
There's little things. One thing I'd add to that we're trying to get better at is making sure we communicate with the client more regularly, in order to, when the client comes out to look at the job, if I'm there, I ask the question, but I encourage Phil, like, hey, is there anything you noticed? Just let us know now, because it's helpful for the client and for those clients that are listening or potential clients. Just let us know. It's not, it's a whole lot easier to sometimes to fix it during the process than if you were to just write that down on a list and come to me, or to come to Phil with a list at the end of the project. You're like, well, if you had said that a week ago when you noticed it, then we could have taken care of that a lot easier. Now it's like 3 extra steps. So sometimes we try and circumvent that by, hey, is there anything you notice right now that we could fix before we move forward? Kind of thing. And allow them to give that input ahead of time. And it could save us hours, if not days worth of work later on down the road. So that's one of the things that I'm, as a current project manager, trying to work on, get better, is create that conversation all the time, and make sure that as I develop the relationship, as soon as Phil develops that relationship, the client also feels like they can come to us and just be like, hey, notice this today. Can you get this fixed? I had that happen with a client over the summer on a project where there was an issue. He called me that day. He called me that night, and we were able to solve the issue much sooner than if we were, and much easier than if we had to backtrack at the end of the project and try and go through the whole rigmarole and move stuff around, this, that, and the other. And so it was super helpful for him, but I'd spent a lot of time and energy developing that relationship to get to that point. And I was thankful that he was willing to bring that to me. In fact, he's been, again, one of our great clients, been willing to have that conversation. Super thankful. We've done several projects for him consequently. And I really value that relationship with him. And he's been able to, even as a business owner, stepping aside from this, but he's been able to help me with some stuff, because he's got some wisdom in that area as well. Let's see. Why do you think investing the time into building that relationship you talked about earlier, asking them questions about themselves, finding about information about them, so investing that time in that, creating that client relationship, even at your level as like a crew leader, somebody, production guy, sometimes homeowners are like, oh, I don't know, do I talk to, like, yes, please talk to our guys. We want to have that relationship with you. How does that pay off in the long run? And there's ideas that maybe people can draw out. I really like the idea of asking them questions about themselves, but are there ideas that maybe people can draw out and use from this conversation?
I would say, in some sense, like, I've used, I'm kind of an aware person. I
Yes,
see
I agree with
that people, that either the vehicle they're driving, things that, that I would see as a hobby or something like that, comment on those things. And that's how you can kind of start those conversations. And if you allow yourself to be flexible, to maybe allow them to teach you maybe a little bit on those things, like, show interest, and that's going to that's going to make them more rest assured that you care about what about them and what they're expecting. You might have difference of views and stuff, but that doesn't mean you just don't care about who they are. I think when you do that, that makes them more at ease. It can boost the morale of the guys, because they're just more excited to interact with that person. And building that relationship usually goes beyond that project. So it can help your business financially down the road by building that relationship.
Yeah, I'd say the projects that we've done well building a relationship with the client, typically they're going to come to us again, or they're going to refer us, and we love that. I love having the opportunity to interact with them again. I'll even say, not just asking questions about them, but the client that we're working with right now, the project that Ben is on. So not the project Phil's on, but the project Ben is on, another one of our guys. That homeowner mentioned that she had looked up our website, and we have our dog on our website, Trex. So if you go to our website, you can see a picture of our dog. He's a rescue. We got him from the shelter. We think he's a blackmouth cur. So his name is Trex, to go with that deck theme. But blackmouth cur is the breed that Old Yeller was. So that gives you an idea of what Trex looks like. But she's like all excited about dogs. She's an artist. She loves to paint dogs and animals. She mentioned specifically dogs, cats, and cows. She likes to paint, which she lives fairly close to a farm where there's plenty of cows. So you can actually hear them as you're working. But so being able to connect even just on something other than them in particular, but they're something they care about, has been super beneficial. I'll use an example of that you didn't even mention, but a client of ours that we did actually about a little over a year ago. He's huge into 3D printing. Spoiler alert, Phil's huge into 3D printing too.
I see.
And so they nerded out over 3D printing and connected over that. And consequently, like, that client has a much better relationship with Phil than he even does with me, which is like, I'm not complaining about it at all. I appreciate that. I love the fact that they connected that way. And so even to the point that I think he very kindly gave you one of his old 3D printers.
Yeah.
And because I walked into his apartment the other day and I was like, where'd you get that third printer? He's like, oh yeah, so-and-so gave it to me. And so that was really, I was like, really? I didn't realize. So yeah, that was a fun project too. He was an awesome client. We really do have great clients. So, yeah, so great conversation. The reason I had Phil on, not just introduce him to you guys, so that I can reference him in the future and you guys know who I'm talking about, but commend you for how well you take care of our clients and the emphasis that you put on it, making sure that they have a good experience throughout the process. Sometimes there have been times where you see things differently than I do in how to take care of clients, and I actually, as much as it can be like frustrating in the moment to have a disagreement in that sense, it's beneficial to have somebody that actually cares about our clients, and it's not just coming in and just trying to get the job done, but making sure that the clients are treated well throughout the process. So Phil's great at that. I'm looking forward to, as we move him into that project manager role, him being the point person of getting those projects done as he grows in that area. Hopefully you guys will have a chance to interact with him and see how great he is at that. So Phil, thanks for coming on Constructive Conversations.
Yeah.
Stay humble, work hard.
Still trying, keeping at it.
Thanks for joining us on Constructive Conversations, where we're raising the standard of excellence one episode at a time. If you found today's discussion valuable, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you know a homeowner or contractor who could benefit from these insights, share this podcast with them. Until next time, keep building smarter, keep raising the bar, and keep the conversation constructive.